Good morning. Breaking news. You're looking live as Hurricane Wilma pounds southwest Florida. The storm roared ashore as a powerful Category 3, packing 125-mile-an-hour winds and pounding waves. Although it's weakening as it moves across land, Wilma remains a dangerous storm, and it's already blamed for at least one death today, Monday, October 24th, 2005.
From NBC News, this is Today with Katie Curry and Matt Lauer, live from Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza.
And welcome to Today at 7 a.m. Pacific time on this Monday morning. I'm Katie Curry.
And I'm Matt Lauer. Bad news is that Florida's taking a real beating this morning. The good news is the storm is losing some of its energy as it moves across land. Right now, Wilma has top sustained winds about 110 miles per hour, making it a Category 2 storm.
Matt, Wilma has knocked out power to more than 300,000 homes and businesses in South Florida. It came ashore about 3.5 hours ago south of Naples. This is the 8th hurricane to hit or brush the Sunshine State in the last 15 months. Storm-weary residents are apparently tired of evacuating, so officials say fewer than 10% of people living in the Keys have actually gotten out. One emergency official warned they're going to be in deep trouble. This hurricane brought the potential of a storm surge of up to 9 feet in the Keys and flooding as much as 18 feet above normal all along the southwest Florida coast.
As you might expect, we have correspondents stationed up and down that coast. Let's begin with Al Roker, who's in Naples, Florida this morning, where they are taking a pounding. Al, good morning.
Good morning, Matt. We sure are. I tell you, even though it's a Category 2 storm and winds down to 110 miles per hour, it's still plenty potent. Let's take a look, show you what's going on right now. It's about 45 miles southwest, or make that southwest of West Palm Beach. As we said, 110 miles per hour. It's moving northeast 25 to 30 miles per hour right now. It's really taking off. Hurricane warnings now from Longboat Key to Titusville. And as far as rainfall, the wind fields, you can see hurricane force winds extend out about 90 miles. Tropical force winds out about 230 miles. Rainfall amounts, we're talking about anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of rain generally. Some areas may pick up as much as 10 inches of rain. The path of the storm, now that it's really picking up steam, it's going to come out south of Lake Okeechobee, somewhere near West Palm Beach, and then head up the Atlantic and continue to move on and cause maybe a little rough surf along the Atlantic coast, but that's about it. Matt?
All right, Al, batten down the hatches. Thanks very much. 2 minutes after the hour, here's Katie.
Matt, thank you. NBC's Kerry Sanders is also in Naples, a few miles away from Al, and he's checking out the damage on the ground so far. Kerry, good morning.
Well, Katie, we're about a quarter of a mile from the Gulf of Mexico here, and this is a little bit of the storm surge that's made its way all the way up to here. A little bit closer over there, the water's up to about 5 feet. Interestingly, as we walk along here, you can see the damage. The trees are down, there's power out, but it's actually good news. As much as it's hard to say a hurricane can have good news, in that there's not a whole lot of damage to the roofs here. The structures seem to be like they were in pretty good shape. One of the real concerns, of course, was that this, at a Category 3 coming ashore, now a Category 2, that we might actually see the sort of damage where the tiles are pulled back, the roofs are knocked down, and that creates all types of problems for people who then want to come back into the area. But that doesn't mean that there isn't some sort of damage here. I'm going to take you over to what was a prized gumbo limbo tree that looks like it just came down and landed right on the roof of the house over here. And just to give you an idea of how big the root structure is here, I'll just sort of stand here and you can see. So there is some damage in the area. Not as bad, I think, as people thought, but let me temper that by saying we're in Naples. We need to go a little bit further south down towards Everglades City area, Katie, to really get an idea where that eye came over, how bad the damage is there. Katie?
All right, Kerry, take care of yourself. Thanks so much. It's 7:04 Pacific time, and once again, here's Matt.
As I said, we have correspondents all up and down the coast. NBC's Tom Costello is in Punta Gorda with the scene there. Tom, good morning.
Matt, good morning to you. We are still feeling the counter effects of this storm. We're getting hit from the north and the northeast. In other words, I'm facing north right now. The wind is coming this way at us as this does this kind of a counter-circle measure, a counterclockwise measure, I should say, pounding us with rain and with wind. At some times, we've had gusts here in excess of 60, 65 miles per hour. Let me show you what happened. If you can zoom in, you'll see that Waffle House sign just a few minutes ago was blown over, not completely over, but you can see that it has already been bent because of the force of the winds here. We also saw in the last hour or so a dramatic drop in the temperature here in Punta Gorda as we are seeing this cold air movement now starting to come in from the northwest and the west. They are saying that is very good news indeed because it will drain the Gulf of Mexico out of that much-needed heat and the warmth that future hurricanes might need in order to build upon. And so they think that this may be, Wilma may be the last one of the season. We'll see, but certainly the people in Florida will welcome that news. Matt, back to you.
All right, Tom Costello in Punta Gorda, Florida this morning. Tom, thank you very much. Be careful. It's 5 minutes after the hour. Here's Katie.
Matt, thanks. Let's turn now to Washington, where the White House is weathering its own storm. The grand jury looking into the CIA leak case expires this week, leading to speculation that some top White House aides could be indicted any day now. NBC's chief White House correspondent David Gregory has more on this. David, good morning.
Morning, Katie. It is Friday, actually, when the grand jury expires, but Special Counsel Patrick Fitzgerald, we're led to believe, could announce his findings as early as this Wednesday. And so decision week means that the White House is obviously distracted. One or more indictments in this case could spell political disaster for the president, who is already battling on many fronts. The question at the heart of the case, who blew the cover of covert CIA agent Valerie Plame, whose husband, Joseph Wilson, publicly attacked the administration's case for war in Iraq? Top White House advisors Karl Rove and Louis Scooter Libby are bracing for criminal charges in the case. Both men spoke to reporters about Plame, but have denied being the source of the leak. Lawyers familiar with the investigation say Rove and Libby could still face charges of perjury or obstruction of justice because of possible inconsistencies in their stories. One former prosecutor who knows Special Counsel Patrick Fitzgerald well says he won't shy away from filing charges related to a cover-up rather than the original crime.
He's not a stranger to high-stakes scenarios, and he has a reputation for being meticulous, thorough, fair.
The president has promised to dismiss anyone responsible for leaking classified information, but has been unclear about what he'd do if other charges were filed. One Republican senator said over the weekend Mr. Bush would have no choice.
If Mr. Rove and or Mr. Libby is indicted, should they step down?
I think they will step down if they're indicted.
The leak case adds another layer of trouble for a White House already battered in its second term. A failed response to Hurricane Katrina, an unpopular war in Iraq, and of late, the embattled nomination of Supreme Court candidate Harriet Miers.
The stakes here are enormous this week because the prospects are growing that this president will be disabled for 3 years and be unable to govern.
If there are perjury or obstruction of justice charges filed, we're getting a sense of an emerging political strategy among some Republicans to dismiss these charges, Katie, as mere technicalities.
All right, David Gregory at the White House. David, thanks so much. Tim Russert is NBC's Washington Bureau Chief and moderator of Meet the Press. Tim, good morning.
Good morning, Katie.
I know that Patrick Fitzgerald set up a website on Friday, and that got people buzzing about what that might mean as they continue to really read the tea leaves, because there's been very little indication of what might happen. But the website seemed to indicate what, Tim?
Nothing, Katie, other than his name, and it's on the Department of Justice overall website. But the fact that it was set up raised an awful lot of speculation that it was there for a purpose, perhaps to load up illegal documents or announce indictments, whatever. On the other hand, people said, no, it's just precautionary, and that's why it's there. Don't read too much into it. We simply don't know.
Clearly, the White House, as David Gregory just mentioned, is on pins and needles when it comes to waiting for word as to what might happen to these two very key players. What about David's assessment that this new sort of strategy is to dismiss these charges as technicalities? What do you make of that, Tim?
Well, Katie, I think it's very dangerous. Senator Kay Bailey Hutchison yesterday said, well, if it's obstruction of justice or perjury, as opposed to those are technicalities, and then brought in the whole case of Martha Stewart. Back in 1998, when there were accusations about President Clinton perjuring himself or obstructing justice, it led to his impeachment by Republicans. So you can't have a different standard in 1998 than you have in 2005. Also, I think when you're suggesting to the prosecutor, who President Bush has said has conducted this investigation in a, quote, dignified way, when you're suggesting that he may do something that is technical rather than substantive, I don't think is wise the week that he's making his decision.
Tim, what do you think is going to happen, or is it anyone's guess?
Katie, it's anyone's guess. You know, the fact is that Mr. Fitzgerald has been extremely thorough. When NBC was subpoenaed and I was subpoenaed, we went through and read, you read the judge's decision, all the judges refer to a very detailed, classified document that Mr. Fitzgerald provided. Nobody knows what's inside that. We know that he is spending a lot of time familiarizing himself with intelligence information and data. But does that mean he will therefore bring an indictment involving a major or serious crime? We simply do not know.
All right, let's move on to Harriet Miers if we could, Tim, because I know Charles Schumer was on Meet the Press this week and said, I think if you were to hold the vote today, she would not get a majority either in the Judiciary Committee or on the floor. Furthermore, Newsweek is reporting that some White House officials are slightly trepidatious because the rehearsals, I guess, for her confirmation hearings aren't going particularly well. What's your sense of where this nomination is headed? Could she pull herself out of the running, or could the White House do it for her, or do you think it's all systems go?
President Bush is someone who is going to stay loyal to his friends, and she is his friend. If she came forward to the president and said, you know, I really don't want to go through this arduous process, that's a whole different story. The Washington Times on Saturday, Katie, front page story suggesting some exploratory calls were being made. The White House denies it. But when you have the Republican chairman, Arlen Specter, of the Judiciary Committee, saying that she needs a crash course in constitutional law, and other senators saying in their private meetings that she just hasn't exhibited a grasp of the kind of issues and the substance that they want, it could make for some very interesting hearings now scheduled for November 7th. Most senators I talk to, Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, say those hearings are make or break for her. She has to reach a standard that they feel comfortable with, or they're not going to vote for her.
But Tim, weren't there other people saying that they were really impressed with the breadth of civil cases that she'd handled in the past? I mean, she does have some positive things being said about her, right?
Yes, the president has said, and others, that she was a former president of the Texas State Bar Association, first woman, that would be good and prudent to have a non-judge on the court, someone with practical trial experience. Some of the cases that she talked about that she'd been involved in were included in her written questionnaire, but again, both Democrats and Republicans sent it back to her saying they wanted more details. So people, Katie, who support her candidacy say she has a case to be made, but it hasn't been made yet.
All right, and Tim, with the time we have left, let's talk about Iraq, because I know that the death toll is nearing 2,000. I think it's 4 individuals away from that tragic number, and obviously that's going to bring more attention to Iraq. And Brent Scowcroft, who was the first President Bush's national security advisor, has said some pretty critical things about the administration. The latest issue of New Yorker magazine, in fact, he said specifically about Dick Cheney, the real anomaly in the administration is Cheney. I consider Cheney a good friend. I've known him for 30 years. But Dick Cheney, I don't know anymore. Why do you think he's coming out with this kind of criticism now?
Katie, in the lead up to the war, Brent Scowcroft also made some very strong comments, and people wondered if that was former President Bush speaking through Brent Scowcroft. In 1991, after the first Persian Gulf War, Brent Scowcroft, the National Security Advisor, and Dick Cheney, the Secretary of Defense, made a decision not to go to Baghdad and topple Saddam Hussein because they were afraid of what might flow from that decision in Iraq. In this article you talked about, former President Bush says that the importance of Brent Scowcroft is not only the advice he gave me that I needed to know, but the information I needed to hear, that he was an honest broker. That has raised a lot of eyebrows for people who read that article. Was that a message to the current President Bush or simply to the writer of the article? We don't know.
All right, Tim Russert in Washington. Tim, as always, thanks so much.
Thanks, Katie.
We're going to have much more ahead, including a talk about a CEO who's accused of spending $241,000 in one night at a New York City strip club. Is it the cost of doing business? He was entertaining clients, and what does it mean for women in the business world?
All right, plus if you're trying to drop some extra pounds, but those hunger pangs have you racing to the fridge for Ben & Jerry's on a regular basis, we're going to tell you about this new South African plant. It's actually a cactus, and some are calling it a miracle weight loss cure. It's called Hoodia, And then we've got two marquee stars on tap this morning, George Clooney and Bette Midler. The Divine Miss M will be belting out a few tunes out on the plaza.
Look forward to that. Before we get to all that, though, let's swing over to the news desk. Ann Curry's been waiting patiently. She's got the other headlines in the morning. Ann, go ahead.
Good morning, Matt and Katie. Good morning, everybody. Also in the news this morning, before heading toward Florida, Hurricane Wilma devastated parts of Mexico. Damage there is severe, and tens of thousands of tourists are stranded. NBC's Peter Alexander's in Cancun this morning with more on this story. Peter, good morning.
Good morning to you, Ann. For the first time since Thursday, the sun is out here, and while Wilma has passed, the problems have not gone away for the thousands who are stranded, many of them tourists, and those who live here as well. There is little food, no running water, and right now, no easy way out. In a late-night visit to storm-ravaged Cancun, Mexican President Vicente Fox tried to calm fears, assuring Mexicans and stranded tourists that they'd be given assistance. Across the country's Caribbean coast, devastation, and now, in places, desperation. Honeymooners Charles and Tiffany Kiefer of Durham, North Carolina, have spent the last 4 nights with 25 other trapped tourists on the floor of this small classroom. Their top priority, their safety.
There's no panic, there's no fear, but we just, it's just a concern. We're trying to figure out what's being done to help us, protect us.
The group is rationing what little it has left. Wilma's relentless wrath left Cancun's beachfront resorts unrecognizable, flooding streets, scattering debris. At least 7 people were killed, but many areas are still too isolated to inspect. Anita Boldo, Cancun's assistant police chief, says her city is lost.
It's very hard to see all this.
Officers allowed some people to enter stores, taking what they needed to survive. Soon, looters began stealing anything they could touch. Vacationers Geraldine Sullivan and Melissa Anderson of Denver are alone and afraid.
We were so excited for it to be over, but now it's just there.
Having survived the storm, tens of thousands of tourists are now weathering more days of uncertainty. President Vicente Fox says that Cancun's storm-ravaged airport may be able to open within the next 2 days. The U.S. Embassy here says it's sending officials to shelters to try to help the stranded American tourists evacuate, but so far no one that we've spoken to has seen any help arrive. Ann?
All right, NBC's Peter Alexander. Peter, thank you from Cancun, Mexico. At least 5 people were killed on Sunday in Haiti and the Dominican Republic by yet another storm, this one called Alpha. The record-breaking 22nd named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season marked the first time the National Hurricane Center had to move to the Greek alphabet to name storms. There is some good news, however. Alpha was later downgraded to a tropical depression and is no longer considered a threat to land. The State Department says 1 American was on board a Nigerian jetliner that crashed over the weekend. All 117 people on board were killed in the crash that happened soon after the plane took off in Nigeria. There is no indication yet as to what may have caused that crash. Gas prices are falling. According to the Lundberg survey, prices fell about 25 cents a gallon over the last 2 weeks as more Gulf Coast refineries resume production after Hurricane Katrina. The average price for self-serve regular is now $2.66 a gallon. That's about 20 cents higher than in California. It's 25% higher than that in California. Okay. Britain has its first confirmed case of bird flu. A parrot that died in quarantine had the same strain of bird flu that killed more than 60 people in Asia. Bird flu has also turned up in the European part of Russia. Meantime, the government says it does not expect shortages of vaccine for this year's regular seasonal flu in the United States. As of today, the government is recommending that everyone who wants a shot should get one. And in the World Series, the Chicago White Sox are up 2-0 this morning. Last night, Chicago's Scott Podsednik brought a dramatic end to a back-and-forth game with the Astros belting a bottom-of-the-ninth home run to give the White Sox a 7-6 win. Game 3 in Houston tomorrow night. 19 minutes past the hour, 7:19 Pacific time.
All right, Ann. Thanks very much. Every
Thanks,
player's
Ann.
fantasy. Win
Yeah.
a game, World Series, bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, wow.
Let's
Exciting.
go to
Anyway.
Naples, Florida. Mr. Roker there with more on the storm and the weather. Al?
Hey, guys, you know, Tom Costello was saying the temperatures dropped. Well, 2 hours ago, it was about 84 degrees. Right now, it's 69 degrees. So the temperatures have dropped. And with the wind, it feels much chillier than that. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Welcome back to the Cloudy Rose City on this Monday morning. Hi, I'm Ron Peterson filling in for Dave Selesky today. And your forecast calls for the morning clouds, maybe even some sprinkles, But by later on today, we'll see more and more sunshine, the high temperature of 67 degrees. Then a frontal boundary moves on in that gives us more and more clouds, cooler temperatures, and a likelihood of some showers by Tuesday night into Wednesday. Maybe some drier weather into Thursday. Friday gives us another chance of showers, but mostly cloudy throughout the week with temperatures near 60 degrees.
That's your latest weather, Matt.
All right, Al, thanks very much. Still to come on today, we're going to have much more on Hurricane Wilma as she roars across southern Florida. But first, this is Today on NBC.
Her husband died on 9/11. Why this New York widow is making headlines.
This was $4,000. The pool table was $20,000.
The controversy. Do you regret spending the money? She's here to tell her side. Next, Oprah.
Today at 4 on News Channel 8.
If you're frustrated with your cell phone cutting out,
I do live out in the woods, so I do have service problems out there.
there's something that can get you through those dead zones. How to get a better cell phone signal. Tomorrow on News Channel 8 at sunrise.
Introducing Med Advantage from Regents Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oregon. If you're eligible for Medicare or about to enroll, you need to know that Medicare alone isn't enough. That's why Regents Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oregon offers Med Advantage. Because the decision you make now about health care will have a huge impact on your continuing quality of life. Med Advantage puts a cap on your annual maximum out-of-pocket expense. Medicare doesn't. With Med Advantage, you get coverage for preventative dental and routine vision, something Medicare leaves out. Med Advantage allows you to choose your own doctor. There's virtually no Medicare paperwork, and you even get worldwide emergency coverage. Medicare alone just can't keep up. Call now for free information about Med Advantage, and you'll also get this free road atlas. So don't settle for Medicare alone. Get all the facts and choose the Med Advantage plan that helps make the road ahead worry-free. From Regents Blue Cross Blue Shield of Oregon.
Not again.
Hey, wait! Don't put your computer in here. Call 1-800-905-GEEK. Geek's on call for same-day on-site computer service, or it's free.
Wow, thanks. I'll call right now.
Wait!
Call 1-800-905-GEEK by 10 a.m. Monday through Friday for same-day on-site computer service, or it's free. Some restrictions apply. Call 1-800-905-GEEK for complete details.
Hello, help here! Hello!
Still ahead, the businessman accused of spending $241,000 at a strip club to celebrate a big deal.
And the plant from the South African desert that some are calling a miracle weight loss cure. Plus, more of our live coverage of Hurricane Wilma. But first, your local news.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Davis.
Let's hear from Eric the intern. What's on today's menu, buddy?
It's this amazing Dell Dimension desktop with an Intel Pentium 4 processor with HT technology and a 17-inch flat panel monitor for $699. Other desktops start at $399.
Hey, Eric, whatever we're paying you, double it.
You don't pay me. You pay me with experience.
Triple it then.
What?
Bertolli. Why go out for great Italian when there's Bertolli frozen dinners? Savor plump shrimp scampi and linguine al dente, served with roasted red peppers, all in a luscious garlic sauce inspired by Italy's top chefs. Just saute and serve. Now you don't have to be an Italian chef.
Bertolli.
To be an Italian chef. Bertolli frozen dinners. Try the whole menu.
Telephone in 30 days. About my way.
Finding the right real estate agent shouldn't be so hard.
Next.
At RE/MAX.com, you can find the agent who's just right for you. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX.
The burn says it's working. Well, this is new. If it burns, it's working.
Imagine a dental plan that kills germs without the burn. Crest Pro Health Oral Rinse, like the leading mouthwash, kills 99% of common germs that can cause bad breath, plaque, and gingivitis, but without the burn of alcohol. Crest Pro Health kills germs without the burn.
cruise ship? Only on Royal Caribbean's newest, most innovative ship ever, Freedom of the Seas. Check it out at RoyalCaribbean.com and get out there.
New on DVD, Walt Disney Pictures invites you to hitch a ride with the Love Bug.
Herbie, help me out here. Thanks for not giving up on me. Show what we got.
Herbie Fully Loaded, only tomorrow on Disney DVD.
I know. How about Crazy 8? Nah. Or we could watch this Princess Moon party. Maybe a sleepover was a bad idea. I'll be right back.
It's more than just that great peanut taste. Jif is a simple little reminder of just how much Mom cares.
Is your mom cut down the middle or across? Across. So how's it going, girls? We're doing great.
Great. Moms like you choose Jif.
The Russells have had their auto insurance with American Family for almost 20 years.
I have 4 boys, 3 sons, and Robert, my husband.
Thanks so much. When all of my boys turned 16, they all wanted their driver's license.
Oh, gosh.
When our son had a car accident, American Family took care of the claim very quickly.
Settled right away.
And we're treated like family.
Renewing your insurance soon? Call American Family about auto insurance.
American Family Insurance.
I'll do anything. Anything. I'll make my bed every single day. See? Brush my teeth. I'll walk the dog. I can cook. Do you like breakfast in bed? Better yet, I'll make your bed. Have I told you how much I love you?
Walmart's Toyland is packed with the newest, coolest toys for you and your kids to explore. All available at the Walmart price, so you can bring them home today. Which means it's a very good time to be a mom.
It's amazing. The older I get, the younger you look. Have you been working out?
News Channel 8 can also be seen on these local translators. This is a News Channel 8 update.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton. It is 7:27. Here's what's making news this morning. We expect a man accused of nearly beating to death another man to appear in a Clackamas County courtroom today. Jay Hosley is accused of attacking a Portland man early Friday morning in Milwaukee. Deputies say Hosley and Matthew Mead got into a fight over a camera. Overnight, we learned doctors at OHSU upgraded Mead to serious condition. The second week of grand jury deliberations begins today in connection with a Clackamas County police shooting. Deputies near Sandy shot and killed Fuad Cady last month. They say he was combative and tasering him didn't work. But Cady's family says Cady was severely burned when his car caught fire, causing him to act erratically. Now with a look at the Monday commute, here's Lynn Masterson.
Well, certainly the Hawthorne or the Morrison Bridge now better choices than the Ross Island. Here's an accident, Brenda, westbound on the Ross Island Bridge, just about mid-span, right lane blocked with this one. It's a solid mess back on to Powell, back to 39th. Also a rather tough commute still on the Banfield after some earlier problems. Stop and go from just past 102nd most of the way into the Hollywood district. Kind of a tough one, too, out of Clark County. The delay begins prior to SR 500. Let's check in with Ron Peterson.
Lynn, thank you very much. Temperatures along the beach in the 40s with low clouds, some fog there, some patchy fog and sprinkles up into the valley with temperatures in the mid-50s, but will be mild in the afternoon. East side temperatures 20s, 30s, and 40s. Looking for a high today of 67 degrees. We'll see some sunshine by later on this afternoon, but right now we're dealing with morning clouds, maybe even a little sprinkle activity at times. And your extended forecast looks like this. Through the rest of the week, mostly cloudy skies, temperatures back down towards seasonal averages, and an increasing chance of rain later Tuesday night into Wednesday, maybe again on Friday into Saturday.
Mattress World has the largest selection in the Northwest. We deliver, have a huge inventory, no interest, no payments for 1 full year, and a 90-day comfort guarantee. We guarantee you'll get the right mattress without paying too much.
It's not too late to sleep like a baby. Mattress World.
If you've been injured through the fault of somebody else, it's important that you learn your legal rights. Call the law firm of Zabenden & Curtis for your free consultation with an attorney that will guide you through the legal process. Call 503-287-5000.
Corn syrup? You wouldn't buy fruit with corn syrup, artificial preservatives. Why buy fruit drinks with them? Unlike fruit drinks, Juicy Juice is 100% juice with vitamin C. In fact, 1 serving of Juicy Juice counts as a serving of fruit because we like to give them 100%, just like you do. Juicy Juice, the very best juice for the very best kids.
7:30 now Pacific time on a Monday morning, the 24th of October, 2005, and you're looking live as Hurricane Wilma lashes out at southern Florida this morning. Wilma hit land as a powerful Category 3 storm. It's since been downgraded to a Category 2 now that it's moving across land. So some good news there. Inside Studio 1A, I'm Matt Lauer along with Katie Kirk. Wilma right now has top winds of about 110 miles per hour. We are hearing of at least one death blamed on the storm. And Wilma has also flooded, we should tell you, large sections of Key West. One official says about 35% of the city is flooded. No travel in or out is possible. We're going to have more on the hurricane coming up throughout this morning.
What a mess in Key West, you know? Gee.
Yeah, I feel bad for the people down there. Meanwhile, coming up, we're going to talk about a businessman who's accused of running up a $241,000 charge at a strip club while he was celebrating a business deal. Whatever the tab, by the way, he charged it on his corporate credit card. Whatever the tab, it is no secret that a lot of business gets done in places that are seemingly off limits to women. We're going to get into the debate over how proper that is coming up in just a couple of minutes.
And then, Matt, if you're never trying to lose weight because you're thin as a rail, but for a lot of people who are trying to lose weight, it's difficult to do because you're so darn hungry all the time. Well, we're going to show you a new supplement. It's called Hoodia, and some people claim it's the magic cure for weight loss. Do the experts agree? Does it work? And most importantly, is it safe? We'll take a look at that a little bit later on.
Let's get back to Hurricane Wilma right now. As we said, we've got correspondents stationed all throughout southern Florida. Donna Gregory is in Key West, Florida. We'll check in with her now. Donna, good morning.
Good morning to you, Matt. We are seeing some light sprinkles, some gusts that probably are not tropical storm force. The majority of the storm is now away from this lowest point on the United States, the southernmost point. But I want you to see what's behind me, and this is what officials have been worried about all week. This is the rising flood waters, and we are on Duval Street, the famous Duval Street that runs north and south in Key West. You see the cars driving into there. We're in the 400 block. The water has already risen to the 300 block. It's 300 blocks south of the Gulf of Mexico. Already the water is rising, and emergency operators tell us that it is rising on all parts of the island. The southernmost parts have several feet of water in the streets. In fact, we've seen some pictures of people in waist-deep water. Water has crept into people's homes. There are tree limbs down. There are trees down in some streets. There's a lot of debris lining the downtown area as well. Power is out through most of the Keys. It's going to be a long day for people trying to recover from Hurricane Wilma in the Keys. Matt?
All right, Donna Gregory in Key West, Florida. Donna, thank you very much. It's 32 after the hour. Here's Katie.
All right, Matt, and now let's go to Al Roker, who's in Naples. He's got the very latest on Wilma. I guess, Al, the good news is it's a fast-moving storm, right?
That's right, Katie. So it didn't sit like in the Yucatan. Wilma just sat over there for over 24 hours and dumped tons and tons of rain. This is moving pretty quickly. In fact, we've got basically just wind right now here in Naples, not really rain. Tornado watches are in effect until 11 o'clock today. We've got a Category 2 storm. It's moving northeast about 25 miles per hour. That may have even picked up a bit. In fact, as I look to the north, skies are starting to brighten considerably to the south where we still are looking. You can see that there's quite a bit of dark sky, as you can see, 45 miles per hour, 45 miles southwest of West Palm Beach. Rest of the country not looking too bad. We're basically talking about fair skies in the Pacific Northwest. Some rain moves in later. We've got fog in the morning in Southern California. Here in the east, we do have a big storm system developing off the North Carolina coast. That will be bringing a lot of rain and wind to the northeast. Not associated with Wilma. Midsection of the country looking pretty good. In the southwest, nice and warm and plenty of sunshine. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Cloudy skies down through the valley. Looking at the state capitol and the mall there, we're seeing clouds. Watch out for some patchy fog and maybe even some sprinkles. Good morning. I'm Ron Peterson filling in for Dave Selesky on this Monday. Your forecast calls for the clouds early, maybe some sprinkles out there. Otherwise, gradual clearing into the afternoon. The high temperature will be about 67 degrees. The extended forecast calls for a frontal system to drag across Tuesday with a chance of rain into our area Tuesday night into early Wednesday.
All right, Matt, your latest weather, guys.
Hey, Al, I'm just curious. I know there are a lot of seniors who live in Naples. Not all of them were even asked to evacuate, right? There's some kind of demarcation for evacuees and people who could stay put?
That's right. They decided for folks who could stay put, who didn't have immediate medical concerns, to stay put. The hotel we're staying at actually took in a number of seniors from a couple of nursing homes. But for the most part, people, unless they were in low-lying areas, they were told to stay put where they were.
All right, obviously we've got a situation where we hope they rode it out successfully, and the other people, I guess, got out a few days ago because as of yesterday, it was too late to start moving anywhere.
That's right. Meanwhile, it looks like Miami is really going to be sort of targeted, at least from those satellite photos,
West
doesn't it?
Palm, right up around there, just south of Lake Okeechobee, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Up next, the CEO who's accused of spending $241,000 on a wild night at a strip club. Is this the way business should be conducted? But first, these messages.
Based on the best-selling novella by Steve Martin.
If this were a TV dating show, would I be kicked off already?
Ebert and Roper give Shopgirl 2 thumbs up. Critics call it an outstanding adult love story.
You look like an angel.
Claire Danes is a revelation.
I can either hurt now or hurt later.
Steve Martin, Claire Danes, Jason Schwartzman in a deeply affecting masterpiece. Shopgirl, rated R. Now playing in New York and LA. Starts Friday in select cities.
Finally, something tastes as good as looking good feels. New Special K fruit and yogurt with rich yogurt-covered clusters, sweet berry oat clusters, and crisp golden flakes. Try new Special K fruit and yogurt. The prize is inside.
Want to smell it? Before it used to smell like an ashtray. It doesn't smell like smoke. Now it smells like my shampoo. Which smells pretty good, actually. Kind of fruity. Yeah. I'm not just constantly thinking about cigarettes and not dependent on it anymore.
You take care of him. Reward yourself with something decidedly different from Coffee Mate. Latte Creations turns coffee into a delicious latte.
You're welcome. Love you too.
Nestle Coffee Mate Latte Creations, coffee's most rewarding perfect mate.
As you can see, the terms are good. The rate is low.
Okay then. Thanks anyway. Next.
Want banks to compete over you? At LendingTree.com, fill out one simple form and get up to 4 offers. When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com.
From portable DVD players and flat-screen TVs to laptops and digital cameras. When it comes to living the digital lifestyle, bring it home at the Walmart price.
My view on prescriptions has always been, honey, if you need it, take it. But lately, I wonder, do we always need a prescription? Like for my arthritis pain, is a prescription so much better than anything else? So I talked to my doctor. It turns out that I could take something that works just as well as prescription ibuprofen, but with fewer risks.
Tylenol arthritis pain is different. It works as well as prescription ibuprofen, and used as directed, no other pain reliever is safer.
Tonight,
Is there something in here?
be there for the ultimate discovery.
I know where it comes from.
Surface, tonight on NBC. All new E-Ring, Wednesday at 8/7 Central on NBC.
We're back at 7:38. If the allegations are true, it was a pretty wild night for one CEO from St. Louis. He's accused of running up a $241,000 tab on his corporate credit card at a New York City strip club. Well, this case is headed to the courts. Taking business from the boardroom to a gentleman's club is more common than you may think. Here's NBC's Allison Stewart.
22 years ago, Rob McCormick was a St. Louis senior headed to college. Today, he is the latest poster boy for CEOs Gone Wild. New York tabloids report the Savvis Communications chairman was charged $241,000 by the Manhattan strip club scores. And the tab went on the company credit card.
I do have a VIP champagne room, which goes for $1,000 an hour just for the club.
Jim Wilson, owner of Gentlemen's Club Cityscape New York, says many white-collar types have traded golf clubs for strip clubs when it comes time to do business.
I do know of people that I know personally that have spent $20,000, $30,000 in one night in the clubs in Manhattan.
20 grand is what Robert McCormick admits to dropping at this club, not $241,000. Now, the courts will settle that dispute. But a group of executives at a high-end club raking up a six-figure bill is quite possible, according to one former dancer.
It really is an environment created to cater to this
sense of white-collar entitlement, and they deliver in spades. So.
Lily Barana is a stripper turned journalist.
What was the biggest tip that you ever got in a night?
For me, the biggest tip I ever got in a night from a single customer was $2,500, but I do have peers in the strip club industry for whom that would make them laugh.
Robert McCormick was not available for comment, but his company stands behind him and is contesting the charge, telling NBC News, Savis is working with legal counsel to resolve the claim and protect the interests of Savis, its shareholders, customers, and partners. The case does not impact our ability to deliver superior products and services. Business deals and high heels, an open secret.
Is corporate networking in the environment of an upscale strip club good business? Absolutely. Is it good taste? That's debatable.
For today, Allison Stewart, NBC News, New York.
Susan Antilla is a financial writer, and Donnie Deutsch is his own corporate conglomerate, author, advertising exec, and host of CNBC's The Big Idea. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
There was some chuckling in the studio during the tape piece, and that's understandable. But the serious question here is, does this go on all the time, and is it okay? What was your reaction when you heard this story?
I thought I was here to talk about Social Security reform.
No, seriously.
My reaction was like, first of all, this guy gets the moron award, number one, $240,000. Is that done? Of course it's done. Anytime you have a situation, I'm not saying right or wrong, where people are selling and people are buying. You have people coming in, let's say you're representing a Wall Street firm, and you've got an institutional buyer. Take them out for a steak dinner, the guy pays you millions of dollars. Hey, I'd like to go to the club. People in sales positions will do that.
So the customer is always right, even if that customer wants to go to a strip club?
Once again, if you're selling, I've never been in a position where a client has said to me, I want to do that. And once again, everybody's got to make their own moral judgments. Is it the end of the world if somebody's doing business that way and making money? What might not have been said with that piece, I know, is ridiculous. Even if he spent $240 grand there, if he brought in $500,000 of sales revenue as a result of it, would shareholders be upset? I'm not quite sure.
Susan, interestingly, the reaction to this story seems to be over the amount of money charged on the credit card, $241,000 in lap dances and everything else, and it doesn't seem as though there's a lot of shock over the concept here.
Well, Matt, I'm not sure that the people who have that reaction understand that the $240,000 is getting written off to the public shareholders of Savis Communications. I mean, they're footing the bill. This isn't like this guy. I mean, look, men have liked looking at naked women for thousands of years. This guy isn't paying it himself. He's asking the shareholders.
But when I talk about the concept, I talk about business deals being struck and finalized in a place like a strip club. Used to be, you'd say as a client, hey, I'd love tickets to the World Series, or get me great seats to a Broadway show. Have we moved, or take me out to play golf? Have we moved from the golf club to the strip club?
Well, I take issue with the idea that there's business being done in these places at all. They're naked women, there's a lot of drinking, and the whole idea is that the focus is on the women. I know you can go to a golf course and there's a lot of standing around, there's a lot of walking around, you can get some business done. So,
but isn't Susan, first of all, once again, I've never done business there, but is there anything horribly wrong? Once again, let's go to the scenario. You are selling something. Somebody is buying something, millions of dollars of a contract, and that's the way some guys think it's an entertaining night, and you're making millions of dollars for your shareholder? Who's to say? Golf club, strip club.
Well, wait a second. Donnie, is there something wrong? If you're a salesman, you can walk in the door of Scores with that client. If you're a saleswoman, you're not going to walk in the door of Scores with that
question,
well,
do you?
Well, go ahead. What's the alternative?
Once again, and I haven't been in one of these places in years, young guy at bachelor parties, there are women in there. So once again, would a man asking a woman to do that situation, to me that's harassment, to put a woman in that situation. But it wouldn't be the first thing. And look, look, let's not be puritanical. These things exist. They're funded by business. Who do you think is keeping these places?
This is like, it's not 1965 anymore. You're like one of the dinosaurs just feeling the cold winds blowing in.
I'm a real dinosaur. I've always been criticized for being a dinosaur. That would be me.
This is a whole new era in business. We've had Enron, we've had WorldCom. There are people going to jail. We care about business ethics today. This is,
Would it be unethical? I'm going to ask you the question again. I'm not saying if those guys did it for their own entertainment. If they took clients and they spent $240,000 and wrote $1 million order for their company and their shareholders, would that be an appropriate business?
Well, what if the clients wanted cocaine? Would you say that was okay?
That's against the law. That's against the law.
I think you draw the line.
But once again, I think shareholders want bottom line money. And I'm not condoning that behavior. By the way, that guy could be the biggest moron in the entire world. But if that's the way some people do business to make money for their shareholders, that's the way they do business.
What is the equivalent? What tools do women executives or salespeople have at their disposal that can level the playing field, given the fact that a male salesperson can take the clients here?
Well, there is no equivalent, and it is largely men who are in these positions, who are in these positions of power in the workplace. But, so there is no equivalent of taking somebody to the strip club, and you're not going to have a woman taking a man to the strip club. You're not going to have a woman in there at all. There's a reason they're called gentlemen's clubs.
If you've got women working for you, do they have...
8 of my top 10 partners are women.
Okay,
so
what tools do they have at their disposal?
They have their intelligence, they have their wits, they have their appeal, they have their charm, the same tools a man has.
Their charm?
Their charm.
So in other words, they can flirt.
As I can flirt as we all flirt. I mean, that's part of it. I'm not saying inappropriately. Why do we continue to say that men and women in the marketplace don't have any degree of flirtation? That can be healthy in a marketplace. I mean, that's okay. It's not, I'm not talking about a man saying to a woman, take me to the strip club. Obviously, that's harassment, that's horrible. But we should not be shocked when guys doing business, in the beer distributor business, in the car business, in other businesses, male-dominated businesses, this happens from time to time.
Bottom line, real quickly. Executive in your company comes to you with an expense report and says, Donnie, here, $40,000. I spent it at Scores. Your first question would be, did you get the deal?
My first question would be, what could you have possibly done there for $40,000?
And did you get the deal?
And I would say, interesting, years ago I was confronted by the situation. I practically fired the guy on the spot, to be honest with you.
Donnie Deutsch, Susan Antilla, thanks very much. It's 46 minutes after the hour. Still ahead, the weight loss pill that some say gets rid of your hunger pains. Does it really work? We're going to find out a little later. But first, these messages.
Dropping all the way down.
You can tune him in.
I like him. He's handsome.
You can turn him off.
I don't like his face.
But critics can't stop talking about The Weatherman. Gene Shalit raves, Nicolas Cage, and Michael Caine are acting royalty. In The Weatherman, they continue to rave.
You always worry about you kids, no matter how old.
It's the first must-see film of the year.
The Weatherman!
That was refreshing.
The Weatherman.
What's this?
It's big old.
Rated R. Starts Friday.
All stuffed up, huh, buddy?
Yeah. Joey, too.
I gave them medicine, but I wish we could do more to comfort them.
We can.
Introducing the Pediacare Gentle Vapors Vapor Plug. Now a mini waterless vaporizer that releases a unique blend of aromatic vapors to soothe and comfort kids when they feel congested. Bedtime, daytime, or nap time, plug in new gentle vapors from Pediacare. Pediacare, just what they need.
Introducing a new alternative. Our healing plant therapies and anti-aging science unite to reduce the look of wrinkles and help restore the look of youthful contours. So order a new alternative, our most intensive age treatment yet.
Just the two of us.
Love the price of gas with Love the Double from Chase. Love your everyday purchases, because now they give you double rewards. Love the Double from Chase.
Look at this. I can have restaurant-style soup at home. Why settle when you can select velvety, rich, irresistible taste? New Camel Select, Golden Label, Golden Butternut Squash. Who knew there could be soup with panache? Just look at this golden box shining. This ain't just eating, it's dining. New Camel Select, Golden Label. Why settle when you can select?
I'm not going to let health concerns hold me back.
From doing a single lap,
Doing a single turn.
Some multivitamins talk a good game, but Centrum Silver is a specially age-adjusted multivitamin with high levels of B vitamins, which emerging science suggests may help reduce the risk of vascular diseases, including heart disease, and with calcium to help maintain healthy blood pressure.
I can't wait for my next gig.
My next plunge.
Centrum Silver, adjusted for your age and your life.
Our kitchen's almost new. Times like these, great tasting coffee always gets us through. Our house, these guys are just like family. Our house, can we have some more coffee? There's rich taste in every cup. It's the coffee every morning that keeps us showing up. Our house, the coffee's good to the last drop. Make your house a Maxwell house.
We're back at 7:49. How can a good kid go so bad? That's the question many people are asking now that a 16-year-old in California is behind bars accused of killing TV attorney Daniel Horowitz's wife. Here's NBC's James Satori.
The changing faces of Scott Dulesky. How did a clean-cut teenager become an accused brazen killer?
In court Friday, the 16-year-old was charged as an adult and, if convicted, could face up to a life sentence for killing Pamela Vitale, wife of prominent attorney Daniel Horowitz. She was found in the entry of her suburban San Francisco home, reportedly beaten with a piece of wood molding, a Gothic marking carved on her back. Friends say Dulesky used to be a typical suburban kid. He played baseball and was a Boy Scout. But by the time he entered high school, he changed the way he looked and dressed to a dark goth appearance.
Like he had a really white face and stuff like that, and I think he wore like black lipstick, and he just walked around and everybody was like, oh my God, who's that kid?
Friends say Dulesky changed after his sister died in an auto accident 2 years ago.
He had a loss in the family a couple of years ago, and that may have helped in his turn towards the golf side.
Others can't believe Dulesky is a killer.
Didn't seem to be aggressive. He didn't seem to be overly angry.
Investigators reportedly say Dulesky killed Vitale because she got in the way of a marijuana growing scheme, raising more uncertainty about the real Scott Dulesky. For today, James Hattori, NBC News, Los Angeles.
It's 7:51 on this Monday morning, and now here's Matt.
Katie, we're going to make a U-turn right now. This morning on Make a Difference Today, we're heading to St. Paul, Minnesota, where some dedicated Habitat for Humanity volunteers are about to send some new homes off on a pretty impressive journey to help the storm victims of Katrina and Rita. It's a trip that would make Huck Finn very proud. Natalie Morales is near the banks of the Mississippi this morning. Natalie, good morning to you.
And good morning to you, Matt. Hello, everyone. Well, this is one of the homes they built this weekend. This home is actually going to stay here in St. Paul. This is part of the Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity efforts to construct homes, much as you saw in New York at Humanity Plaza. But take a look at what they're building right here to my left. This is a home, 15 to 20 volunteers now working on this. As you can see, putting a lot of sweat and effort into building this home. Now, what's great is this St. Paul being right here along the northernmost port along the Mississippi River. The Twin Cities Habitat for Humanity had this great idea. Let's build these homes, let's put them on a barge, and let's send them down the river to victims of Hurricane Katrina and Rita. So that's in effect what they're doing. They're building this home. It is one of 5. They've already built 4 other homes. And you can see right now the barge that they have loaded 4 homes already onto that barge, and that barge is going to head down the Mississippi River. They expect the journey to take about 4 weeks to travel some 1,800 miles, and they hope that those homes will be in place by Thanksgiving. Matt?
All right, Natalie, that's a great idea, and it'll be interesting to see when they load them on the barge, and then we'll follow the trip as they head down the Mississippi from St. Paul all the way to Louisiana, where we hope to deliver the houses on Thanksgiving weekend. As she mentioned, 1,800 miles, that's quite a journey.
Meanwhile, tomorrow we'll be at the World Series in Houston, where Major League Baseball is doing its part to make a difference today.
And if you want to learn how you can help, just log on to our website at today.msnbc.com.
And still to come, much more on Hurricane Wilma. But first, your local news.
This old country table was a real find.
Yeah, just think of all it's seen.
Oh, and all the great homemade food.
What is it that makes food from the country taste so much better?
Couldn't be the cook, could it?
She's a real find, too.
Shed Spread Country Crock, a taste of the country. Also try new cinnamon spread.
My name is Sarah, and I'm not an actress. I went through 2 or 3 years of not being able to sleep. I got great sheets, I had the perfect pillows. Nothing worked for me. I went to my doctor. She said, you know what, I'm going to give you a prescription for Ambien. I tried it that night, and it helped me get a good night's sleep. When you go that long without sleep, you have no idea what it's like when you finally get to sleep. I'm very happy I found Ambien.
Prescription sleep aids are most often taken for 7 to 10 days as needed, or longer as advised by your doctor. Until you know how Ambien will affect you, you shouldn't drive or operate machinery. Side effects may include drowsiness, dizziness, and diarrhea. You shouldn't take it with alcohol. All sleep medicines carry some risk of dependency. Memory problems can usually be avoided by taking Ambien only when you can devote 7 to 8 hours to sleep. Talk to your doctor. Ambien works like a dream.
We love pillaging this time of year. But with so many people switching to Capital One, we've had to find new jobs. Some of us are getting pretty desperate.
For low rates and great rewards, switch to Capital One.
What's in your wallet? Boo!
Bewitched coming to DVD. With a snap of her fingers, she could have anything, but she left love.
You're sweating.
Up to fate. Like a pig. Bewitched. Buy it on DVD Tuesday. And gift with purchase 3 episodes from the original TV show.
I got back into my favorite jeans. I had a really good hair day. I asked my doctor about Botox Cosmetic.
Talk to your doctor or find one at BotoxCosmetic.com. The one, the only Botox Cosmetic.
Are you ready?
What you need is the multitasker.
Okay.
It's like a bunch of tools all in one. It has an air grip base, so you can use it as a laser level to help you hang pictures. It's got a nice work light, and it even helps you hold stuff.
So what you're saying is I don't need him.
The Ryobi Multitasker, just $49.97, exclusively at the home of innovative ideas. The Home Depot. You can do it.
The well-being of mankind, its peace and security are unattainable until its unity is firmly established. From the writings of Baha'u'llah.
For a free copy of the Baha'i magazine, Uniting the Human Family, call 800-22-UNITE. The magazine is filled with articles and photographs of Baha'is working together to create a better world.
Find out about this growing faith.
The magazine describes a community of people who are making a difference. Call now for your free copy, 800-22-UNITE, or visit our website at us.baha'i.org.
News Channel 8 can also be seen on these local translators. This is a News Channel 8 update.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Brenda Braxton. It's 7:57 and currently 47 degrees here in the Rose City this morning. Here's what's making news. We have an E. coli warning in Bend to tell you about this morning. The Deschutes County Public Health Department says those 2 confirmed cases came from McGrath's Fish House. Health workers say almost 20 other people have symptoms. If you ate at the Bend, Oregon McGrath's between October 12th and October 18th and you're sick, you can call the Deschutes County Health Department at 503-322-7451. Oregon lottery officials say a landscaper in Medford is still just someone waving around a piece of paper, but Steve West says he has that winning $340 million Powerball ticket. West hasn't taken the ticket into the Oregon lottery office to have it verified yet, but he is already conducting several interviews saying he's the mystery guy who bought that winning ticket down in Jacksonville. Now, West says he plans to claim the prize officially tomorrow. We'll let you know. Well, it's slow going on some parts of your Monday commute. For the latest, let's go live to the traffic center and Lynn Masterson.
That's true, Brenda. It's taken well over a half hour, actually, to clear this accident on the Ross Island Bridge. Right lane still blocked here, and traffic is tied up to well before 39th on Powell. Go ahead and choose an alternate there. And it's also very slow, too, right through Tualatin. Stop and go from Capitol Highway right through the Terwilliger curves here along I-5 North. And we have a problem, too, on the Sunset Highway. Comments with this disabled vehicle in the left lane prior to the top of the Sylvan Hill. Let's check that forecast. Here's Ron Peterson.
Thank you very much, Lynn. We're looking at cloudy skies over the top of us right now and temperatures in the metro area into the mid-50s. Your forecast throughout the day. Sunshine into the afternoon with a high of 67 degrees. And we'll see more seasonal weather by tomorrow, and that means rain.
With more than 5,000 Oregon kids in foster care, it's difficult for foster families and agencies to meet the needs of every child. To help, Sleep Country USA is collecting winter coats for Oregon's foster kids, but we can't do it without you. Bring your gift of a new warm coat to any Sleep Country location. Call 1-888-88-SLEEP for the store nearest you. Sleep Country knows not everyone can be a foster parent, but anyone can help a foster child.
Hi, my name is Sherry Harrington. I've had my hair the same for about 20-some years. I'm real excited about this. I think it'll be a good, healthy change. Every one of my my friends and all of my family are anticipating this change.
Don't you dare give me fever.
We're back at 8 o'clock Pacific time on this Monday morning. It's October 24th, and maybe some folks out there have a little fever. They don't need to call the doctor, though. This is Peggy Lee's signature song being reinterpreted by the Divine Miss M, Bette Midler. Just one selection from her newest CD, which is an homage to Peggy Lee. We're going to have a special Monday concert.
I think it's a tribute to Peggy Lee also.
I just like to say
homage. Yeah.
Anyway, that's going to be out there in our next half hour, singing away.
And we look forward to that.
And coming up on our weekly Monday segment, Take It Off today, something called hoodie
It
up.
happens to me.
I know. Never heard of it. Well, it's a plant that might be the magic ingredient for a pill that could help the estimated 60 million obese Americans lose weight. But does it really work? And is it safe? We're going to talk with an expert coming up.
Also ahead, George Clooney is the son of a journalist, a Hollywood heartthrob, and he's taking on the press and the government in his new movie called Good Night and Good Luck. We're going to talk to him about that and a couple of other things in just a few minutes. And we've been reminding you for a couple of days now that I'm about to go off on my 7th adventure around the world. But first, do you remember the first place we ever went to?
Trenton.
Good. Until you get to stand right where I am today, which is about 30 feet from the Sphinx, you will not believe this place. This is the first ever live American broadcast from the Great Pyramid. Once one person found out, look what happened, Katie.
Oh, my gosh.
Can you believe this? They just wanted to come out and say hi to you, Katie, and hi to the folks at home.
Where in the world is Matt Lauer?
That's so funny. You're at that exotic locale, and then all these people show up, right?
Yeah, exactly. I look back, all I can think those were ugly shorts. Those were really bad.
I was thinking you look cute, and I hope you go someplace warm again.
Oh, good. All right. Anyway, our Where in the World adventure, the 7th time, begins Monday, November 7th. That's 2 weeks from today.
And we're all looking forward to it, Matt. Meanwhile, let's get the latest on Hurricane Wilma. Al's down on the west coast of Florida in Naples, where the weather is a little calmer than it was earlier this morning. Right, Al?
Yeah, it is. That's all a relative term, Katie. Right now, we got about 60, 70 mile per hour winds. Temperatures dropped about 18 degrees since we first started broadcasting. Take a look. This is the latest on Hurricane Wilma. Right now, it continues to move to the northeast, and it is moving pretty quickly, 25 to 30 miles per hour moving to the northeast. Right now, its winds are over about 110 miles per hour. It is 15 miles north-northeast of West Palm Beach and continues to move. And as you take a look, you'll see that currently the rainfall amounts for this system. We got, right now, tornado watches. 4 to 8 inches of rain locally, some areas picking up as much as 12 inches of rain. And the path of the storm, it comes out somewhere over West Palm Beach and then out into the Atlantic and then very quickly makes its way up the East Coast. Katie?
All right, Al, thanks so much. And now with more on the hurricane, here's Matt.
All right, and let's turn to NBC's Kerry Sanders. He's several miles away from where Al is, also in Naples, Florida. Kerry, what are you seeing?
Well, Matt, we're about 6 blocks from the Gulf of Mexico. You can see some of the storm surge that made it up back there. A lot of foliage, some trees that got knocked down, but not a whole lot of structure damage to the homes. Wendy Sparks decided to ride it out here with your family. First of all, how is everybody?
Everybody's fine.
And what was it like?
It was very scary. We lost power with the first eye wall coming through, and we haven't had power since then.
And what did it sound like? You lose the power, it's dark.
It's very dark, and the wind sounds like a very strong roar.
And there's a lot of stuff flying around. Do you hear that hitting your house?
Yes, you do.
And
yes.
So when you hear that, what do you think's going on?
You really don't know. So you imagine the worst. You're thinking trees. You're thinking whatever's left laying around from anybody's yard.
Well, good reason for thinking about trees, because as we can see, as we look here, actually trees completely snapped. We all saw a little bit further down there a tree that fell on somebody's house. How does your house look like it fared?
My house did fine. We have trees in the backyard that are down, but nothing is on the roof.
Okay, and Wendy, you and your 5 children all decided to ride it out here, but you were supposed to evacuate. Why didn't you?
When we made the decision to stay, it was a week 2 strong Category 1. So we decided to stay, and then it turned into a 3, and we decided that we should just stay where we were.
Well, a happy ending. It worked out well. We'll find out a little bit later as we head south down towards Everglades City, where some of the strongest winds hit. But here we were right up against the eye wall, so 120-plus mile-per-hour winds right in this area. Matt?
All right, Kerry, thanks very much. You hear that story over and over again, people listening to the category of the storm approaching, making that decision as to whether they'll stay or go. Once again, here's Katie.
Matt, thanks. Now let's head down to Punta Gorda, where NBC's Tom Costello is standing by. Tom, good morning.
Katie, good morning to you. The rain has stopped here. We managed to change into some dry clothes, but we still have sustained winds here of 60 miles per hour and more. We have been out to look around Punta Gorda, and thus far we see no major damage. We see some flooding, some trees down, and some signs down, but nothing more significant than that. A minute ago, we had a convoy of National Guard vehicles rolling down south on I-75, rolling down towards the Naples area. The state has insisted all along they had the National Guard on standby, hundreds of trucks loaded with food and ice and water and medical supplies ready to roll. And FEMA also has pre-positioned 300 trucks ready for this disaster. And so it now appears they're starting to move into that area that has been most affected. It does appear it is, in fact, the Naples area and Alligator Alley, if you will, down across the Everglades and into Miami as this storm continues to batter Florida. We're waiting for it to now move completely off coast and off to the east. Katie?
All right, Tom Costello. Tom, thanks so much.
There are some other stories making headlines this morning, and for those, we turn to the news desk and say good morning again to Ann.
Thanks again, you guys. Good morning once again to you and to you this morning. The U.S. Embassy says it's sending representatives to Cancun to help American tourists stranded after Hurricane Wilma. At least 10,000 Americans are reportedly stranded in Cancun. Wilma battered the resort town when extra police were brought in after some massive looting broke out. Wilma is blamed for as many as 7 deaths in Mexico and another 13 in Jamaica and Haiti. Today, President Bush is expected to name a replacement for Fed Chairman Alan Greenspan. The longtime Fed Chairman's latest term runs out on January 31st. The announcement is expected to be in about 2 hours. A U.S. Marine was killed during a clash with insurgents in Iraq today. His death brings the number of American soldiers killed in Iraq to 1,997. Meantime, in Baghdad, a short time ago, a hotel used by journalists came under attack, reportedly from at least 2 rockets and a car bomb. Damage is said to be considerable. At least 1 person has been wounded. Today in Damascus, thousands of Syrians protested a UN report that implicated Syria in February's assassination of Lebanon's former prime minister. They also shouted anti-American slogans saying Syria will never be another Iraq. The State Department says at least 1 American was aboard a Nigerian jetliner that crashed this weekend. The Bellevue Airlines flight crashed minutes after takeoff. All 117 passengers aboard and crew were killed. There is no word yet on what caused that crash. And there's been a volcanic eruption on the Galapagos Islands. Some scorching lava can be seen flowing down the mountainside, but there is reportedly no threat to any people nearby. Isabella Island is best known for its unique natural wildlife, including its famous giant tortoises, which are reportedly safe. It is now 8:08 Pacific time. Let's now turn back to Katie and Matt.
You ever seen a volcano up close?
No.
I mean, we went to Kilauea. We did that Where in the World
Right.
Can Kilauea. It is awe-inspiring. Scary, too, because you realize that just you're powerless against a shift in that lava field. But it really is incredible.
Well, even the video is so dramatic.
Yeah,
too.
we were early on the dome of Mount St. Helens, and I remember they said as we were standing on the dome that just 6 inches under our feet was molten lava moving. It's amazing.
Always played Can You Top This? I was actually
topped it. I think I
inside Mount
did.
St. Helens at one point, in it when it went. No, it really is. It's incredible.
I actually am a volcano.
Are you? Yeah. On some days, we all know that. She's going to go. Let's get a check of the rest of the weather from Al Roker down in Naples, Florida. Al?
You know, 3 weeks ago when I was in the Earth's core, it really was unbelievable. Anyway, let's take a look, show you what's going on. And again, the good news is things are starting to calm down here. Our pick city today, Los Angeles, after morning fog, partly sunny skies, and a temperature in the mid-60s. West Coast weather looks like this. We've got Seattle with 60 degrees, cloudy skies. Expect Los Angeles, as we said, morning fog. Beautiful in Phoenix today. Sunshine and 91 degrees. Denver will check in with 67 degrees. Same for Portland, Oregon. And as you take a look around the rest of the country, of course, here in the southeast, we've got Hurricane Wilma still kicking things up. Big low pressure system getting itself together along the mid-Atlantic coast. That's going to cause problems for the Northeast today on in through tomorrow. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
And good morning. Welcome back. I'm Ron Peterson filling in for Dave Selesky on this Monday. And your forecast for today, maybe you've experienced some of the sprinkles out there. Well, that's what we have. Clouds, maybe some sprinkles, some patchy fog. By later on into the day, a little bit more and more sunshine, some sun breaks into the afternoon, allows the temperature to climb up toward 67 degrees. Average high for this time of the year is closer to 60, and that's where we'll be throughout the rest of the week, as Tuesday through Sunday will be mostly cloudy with variable chances of some showers. First one coming in Tuesday night.
All right, that's your latest weather. Matt?
All right, Al, thanks so much. Coming up next on today, a cactus-like plant called Hoodia. Could it help you drop those pounds without feeling hungry? And later, the divine Miss M, Bette Midler, live in concert on the Plaza. But first, these messages.
Thanks, you too.
With a Visa check card, you don't have to worry about having enough cash in your pocket for those everyday purchases. No matter how much they pile up, the Visa check card, your cash whenever you need it.
All of us have internal plumbing. But for some of us, with frequent bladder urges, our pipes just don't work as well as they should. Sometimes you worry you could spring an embarrassing leak. So why deal with it on your own when there's something more you can do? Treat it once daily with Vesicare. Vesicare can reduce urges and may even help relieve bladder leakage. If you have certain types of stomach, urinary, or glaucoma problems, do not take Vesicare. While taking Vesicare, if you experience a serious allergic reaction, severe abdominal pain, or become constipated for 3 or more days, tell your doctor right away. Common side effects are dry mouth, constipation, blurred vision, and indigestion. So ask your doctor today if Vesicare is right for you. Fewer urges and leaks with Vesicare. Save $25 by calling now or visiting Vesicare.com for your free kit.
We'd like to take all the credit for creating the perfect orange juice. Never frozen, never concentrated. But the truth be told, nature did most of the work. Simply orange. Simply unfooled around with.
You and your little one will love the new Baby Einstein on-the-go DVD.
Car, train.
Perfect for little ones beginning to name things in their world.
Airplane, sailboat.
Bring home Baby Einstein's on-the-go DVD October 25th.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Davis.
Let's hear from Eric the intern. What's on today's menu, buddy?
It's this amazing Dell Dimension desktop with an Intel Pentium 4 processor with HT technology and a 17-inch flat panel monitor for $699. Other desktops start at $399.
Hey, Eric, whatever we're paying you, double it.
You don't pay me. You pay me with experience.
Triple it, then.
What?
This morning on our continuing series, Take It Off Today, the very latest information on weight loss. Could you imagine a product that would keep you from getting those dreaded hunger pangs and therefore keep you from eating? The answer may lie in a plant found in the middle of the South African desert. Here's NBC's Janet Shamlian.
Okay. Yeah.
It's the look everyone wants.
Don't you wish your girlfriend was hot like me?
A body to die it for.
Don't
They're on the beaches, in magazines, and all over Hollywood. How far will we go to get one? How about thousands of miles and deep into a distant culture? South Africa's Kalahari Desert, home to what could be the answer to an appetite. It's a cactus called Hoodia.
You strip off the skin, you strip off these spines, and then you can consume it.
Eat it, and you won't want to eat anything else. A secret Bushmen have known for ages. A mystery to the West, no more.
Hootie is actually one of our top-selling diet products.
Nutrition stores are packed with products, but this isn't the fresh plant said to work wonders. It's the dried, powdered, and some say less effective version.
One of the issues for dieters is there are so many products with the label Hoodia on them, it's hard to know the difference between them and if they work at all.
Today Show staffer Jamie Anker is giving it a shot and finding her appetite is suppressed.
I am obsessed with it.
10 years of weight loss camp as a child. At 26, she's still waging the war and hoping Hoodia will be the weapon that works.
What's the worst that's going to happen to me?
An important question. Store brands are not inspected or regulated. Their exact contents unknown. Texan Walter Parks bought his bottle on the internet.
I would say yes, that it is the magic bullet.
But no human studies to prove that, and so little supply of the plant.
It's important to say this does need more work. It's not in the ready-to-use form right now.
Dieters hopeful a hunger-busting plant will deliver this. One of those glorious how-did-she-get-it bodies. Seemingly everywhere, except in the mirror. For today, Janet Shamlian, NBC News, Dallas.
And up next, we'll ask an expert if Hoodia really works. That's right after this.
Now people with sensitive teeth can get excited about the ice cream man again. Imagine a dental plan that's sensitive to your desires. Introducing Crest Sensitivity with whitening plus scope freshness. Finally, the maximum strength sensitivity protection you need.
Can I get you?
With the whitening and scope freshness you want. Crest Sensitivity, part of the Crest Dental Plan for healthy, beautiful smiles for life.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
At the Weebly Wobbly Treehouse, little ones can explore and take their imaginations for a spin.
Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
Discover the fun of the Weebly Wobbly Treehouse and the whole Weebles world from Play School.
Let's play.
Looking for a blush that's true to you? I found my true match.
New True Match Super Blendable Blush from L'Oreal.
The first blush from L'Oreal designed to complement your natural skin tone.
12 true natural shades in warm, neutral, and cool tones. New True Match Blush.
Blush is back.
It's the time of the season when love runs high. In this time,
Moving your 401ks to Fidelity is groovy. Our retirement specialists make it so easy, they'll even do most of the paperwork. You dig? Call 1-800-FIDELITY. Smart move.
Finally, something tastes as good as looking good feels. New Special K fruit and yogurt with rich yogurt-covered clusters, sweet berry oat clusters, and crisp golden flakes. Try new Special K fruit and yogurt. The prize is inside.
The therapist.
Let's have it.
The patient.
Name is David, and we kiss.
The problem.
Oh, my God.
What's wrong, Mom? Never seen you like this.
We have had sex on every surface of my apartment.
Crime. Rated PG-13. Starts Friday.
Julie, will you take me to Outback for their new Hearts of Gold Bronze filet with sauteed artichokes, sun-dried tomatoes, and a light lemon Alfredo sauce?
Yes, I will.
Try something bold. Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
I just hung up with your mother. You know what just hit me? I don't remember. But once we go to Outback for the new cyclone pasta with grilled chicken and 3 cheeses, it'll come to me. I love coming to Florida.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
What if the air were clean again? Would the grass be greener? Would you live longer? Feel better? What if all cars released 80% fewer smog-forming emissions? Hybrid Synergy Drive from Toyota. The power to move forward.
We're back at 8:19. We just told you about a plant called Hoodia that some say can be turned into a magic weight loss pill that will get rid of hunger pangs. But does it really work? And more importantly, is it really safe? Madeline Fernstrom is the director of Weight Management Center at the University of Pittsburgh. Hey, Madeline. Good morning. Nice to see you. All right. So what exactly is Hoodia? It's this this sort of soft stuff in the middle of a cactus found in South Africa. Is that right?
Hoodia is a plant that grows naturally in South Africa. It's cucumber-like. Think of it as a long cucumber with a lot of spikes. It's like a cactus. And what you do is the material inside, or the sap, you peel off the prickly stuff, and then you have a compound. So it's actually biologically an active compound that will supposedly prevent hunger. Now, how do we know this? From the South African Bushmen who use this in long-term hunting where they want to suppress hunger while they're foraging for food. That's different from using it here where we have food available 24 hours a day.
But what do you think about it now when it's now in pill form? Because as you well know, this is a hugely popular diet supplement, and I know a lot of folks are talking to you about it. So are you recommending it? Do you say it works, or are there caveats? What?
You know, in a perfect world, if we could have a Hoodia plant growing in our backyard like we have aloe, we could take a little chew and say perhaps it would do something. It's not surprising, Katie, that in nature there are things that activate, like cola nuts, like coca leaves, things that sedate, and something that would naturally suppress appetite for the ebb and flow of life.
Well, so many drugs are from natural products, you know, from the yew tree or whatever, and things like that.
The biggest difference is when you take this and extract it and put it in the pill, it doesn't make it bad, but we don't know right now whether it's pure, how much is authentic, are there other contaminants that could be added to this? Because oftentimes for a weight loss compound, there are things we don't know about.
And these aren't FDA regulated, most importantly, right? Like any herbal supplement.
Right. Any dietary supplement can be promoted. It may not, it doesn't have to have any other regulation. The thing that is important to know is there are contaminants that are not tested. You don't know the dose, even though it looks like a prescription medication and there's instructions on the bottle. There's not even a dosage for Hoodia right now. So how do you translate chewing on a piece that's the size of a banana to what's the dose? Is it 400 milligrams, 700 milligrams? And if you look at the preparations, there's all kinds of recommendations. Take it 3 times a day. Take 2 capsules. Take it an hour before you eat. Take it immediately before you eat. So since there is no information, it's all speculation.
But you've had people who have been on this, I'm assuming, or you've talked to people who have tried it.
Sure.
Does it work?
Well, you know, it's something, if you think it's working, sometimes
I was
going to
say, is it the placebo effect?
You know, you can have a very strong placebo effect for something like this. I have patients who I encourage to tell me, what are you trying? Because you don't want them to hide it. Some people have tried it. They haven't gotten sick. This doesn't mean that there is not any negative side effects with that, because most of these are self-reports. People will take it, say, I think it helped me. Maybe, you know, 1 out of 5 people say, was it helpful? Whether it was the active compound or not is difficult to say, because you still don't know how much of the pure compound is there.
Right. Well, so what would you advise consumers? Because I know a lot of women out there are thinking, gee, I'm going to go to the health food store and buy some of this stuff. Are there some brands that are better than others? I know that for example, GNC says this is the only Hoodia from the South African cactus plant that's available on the market. Can you trust claims like that? Or, you know, how should you judge which Hoodia to buy?
Okay. We all believe that on the internet everything must be true. You cannot trust the claims that are made by any companies because there is no regulation. The best thing to do is to make sure, if you're going to try this, that there's an 800 number or a site that you can visit to see what is the demonstration that there's some purity. Give me some idea more than you're just telling me it's pure or authentic.
And you should probably talk to a doctor about it too, right?
You must talk to your doctor, especially if you take any medications that are going to be affecting your brain or other illnesses you take, because if there is enough biological activity in the particular pill, it might interfere with the actions of prescription medications, and you don't want that.
That's true, and that's so important, because herbal supplements can have bad interactions with other drugs. Well, Madeline Furstrom, thanks so much for coming by this morning and explain a little about Hoodia, but obviously we should probably learn more about it, too, in the future.
I would think.
Thanks, Madeline. And now, here's Matt.
All right, Katie, thanks. We're going to go back now to Make a Difference today. Natalie Morales is in St. Paul, Minnesota, with a very special guest, as I can see. Natalie, good morning again.
And good morning once again to you, Matt. This is Governor Tim Pawlenty of Minnesota. And, you know, after the hurricanes, Governor, obviously Minnesotans as many did across the country, really poured their heart and soul into offering help and assistance to those in need. But you, I know, actually challenged the big companies here in Minnesota to help raise money for the effort. How much was raised here?
Well, we challenged them to raise $75 million, and I thought it would take months. They raised $79 million in a matter of weeks, and so our Minnesota Business Partnership did a great job, and it really reflects the spirit of giving and sharing of Minnesota.
And to put a figure, I mean, that's $79 million, but you're talking about 7% of the overall company, like corporate relief that was raised, isn't that right?
It was huge, yes. Of course, we have many other small and medium-sized businesses who joined in, but that was a flagship effort, and we're really proud of it.
So we see you here today. You're helping us with the construction efforts. It's amazing how quickly these homes go up, right? I think this one, they say about 4 hours will be all done and over with.
Right. Well, I was amazed to see that, and they're going to put it on a barge and with 5 other homes ship it down to the Gulf region, and this will be a home in a box, basically, for a needy family or individual in the Gulf region.
How important is this Habitat for Humanity effort here in the Twin Cities?
Oh, it's incredible, and it's across the whole country. Of course, Habitat Humanity is a great organization. Minnesota has one of the largest Habitat for Humanity organizations in the whole country, and this is just a great way to provide assistance to people in need, and in this case, in a hurry.
All right, Governor, if you can give us a hand here,
it.
because we're going to lift this. We're going to do a good old barn raising here. All right, you guys ready?
And count of 3.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3. Nice and slow.
Hi. Governor Tim Pawlenty of Minnesota, thank you.
Thank
and Matt,
you,
as you can see, we still have a little work here, but we're going to send it back to you.
And I'm impressed, Natalie, because the center of that wall clearly went up faster than the others. You were doing your share pushing there, so congratulations. and our thanks to the governor as well. Still ahead, 2 names that would look good at the top of any marquee. We're talking about George Clooney, who's here, talking about his new movie called Good Night and Good Luck, and Bette Midler live in concert out on the plaza. But first, on a Monday morning, these messages in your local.
It's the Dodge Model Year-End Clearance. Your last chance to grab an 05 with the Dodge Advantage. We've still got a lot of 05s, but not for long. Save on the Hemi-powered Ram, the all-new Dakota with best-in-class interior room, and Durango with a 5-star frontal crash test rating. Now get the Dodge Advantage, including up to $5,500 combined cash allowance or 0% financing for 60 months. See your Dodge dealer today or visit Dodge.com. Hurry, because once the Dodge you want is gone, it's gone.
My favorite time of the year is when prices fall.
It's time to rake in the savings at Furniture Row's Fall Clearance Sale. We've taken huge markdowns in every store to clear out overstocked, discontinued, and one-of-a-kind merchandise. And these extra discounts are on top of our 200% guaranteed lowest price pledge. We're also offering no payments and no interest for 1 year. Furniture Row Outlet. Drop by. Our fall clearance sale ends soon. 3540 Commercial Street Southeast in Salem.
98.7 KUPL. The biggest hits. The biggest stars.
This is a News Channel 8 update.
Good morning, everyone. It's 8:27, currently 47 degrees here in the Rose City this morning. I'm Brenda Braxton, along with Debbie Duran. Here's what's happening right now. Marion County Sheriff's deputies expect former Oregon lawmaker Dan Doyle to report to jail today. Last week, a judge sentenced Doyle to 10 months behind bars for lying on campaign finance reports. Doyle pleaded guilty to 11 criminal counts. The Salem Republican diverted money from his campaign into his own pocket. Negotiations resume today between the Oregon Trail School District and teachers who threaten to walk off the job tomorrow. Those teachers say they may strike over issues like pay and evaluations. If the teachers strike tomorrow, all schools in the district will close. That affects about 4,200 students in Sandy, Boring, and Welch's. Now here's Lynn Masterson with a final look at your Monday morning drive.
Well, good morning, Brenda. We still have some slowdowns on our Portland area freeways and also an accident in the Salem area, Highway 22 near Dokes-Ferry Road. Here's the delay westbound on the Banfield. It begins prior to the Providence Medical Center, and we're still pretty slow, too, northbound I-5, and that's right from Capitol Highway as you cruise in through the Terwilliger curves. Southbound I-5 looking better out of Clark County, so is the Sunset Highway. Watch for delays still lingering on, though, on the approach to the Ross Island Bridge. Let's check the forecast. Here's Ron Peterson.
Lynn Masterson, thank you very much. We're looking at temperatures with cloudy skies into the mid-50s right now. But the sun will come out later on this afternoon. Look for a high temperature of 67 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Things will cloud up again tomorrow with increasing chance of rain for Tuesday into Wednesday. For Debbie, Brenda, and myself, have a good Monday.
husband died on 9/11. Why this New York widow is making headlines.
This was $4,000. The pool table was $20,000.
The controversy. Do you regret spending the money? She's here to tell her side. Next Oprah.
Today at 4 on News Channel 8.
You spend nearly all your waking time worrying. The kids, the job, the house. Then you spend nights doing it all over again. You know what anxiety feels like. You're tense, stressed, and irritable.
Summit Research Network is studying an investigational medication that may help reduce the symptoms of anxiety. If you qualify for this research medication study, you can participate at no charge. Isn't it a good time to get more information about anxiety? Call Summit Research Network at 503-228-CARE.
Know what makes Chrysler 300 the most award-winning new car in history? Just pick up any one of these magazines and read about its precision handling, 5-star crash test ratings, and fuel-efficient Hemi V8 engine. Or you could experience the thrill of driving Chrysler 300 for yourself and see what it takes to be the most award-winning new car ever. Right now, get a $500 cash allowance on the Chrysler 300. Hurry into your Chrysler dealer today.
Tonight, catch Jay with George Clooney, Jesse James, Blue Man Group, and piercing interviews. Also this week, Charlize Theron, Kirsten Dunst, and Chris Rock. Then on Conan, Kim Cattrall tonight.
And we're back at 8:30 now on a Monday morning. It's the 24th day of October, 2005. A lot of people in our crowd right now need a tissue because this, of course, is the song Wind Beneath My Wings from the Tearjerker Beaches, both featuring the multi-talented Bette Midler. And it's our way of saying that Bette's going to share some songs with us coming up in just a couple of minutes. By the way, they're from her new collection. I know, it kills me too. I'm crying on the inside, I promise you. Her new album pays tribute to Peggy Lee, so we should be looking forward to some of those songs.
Absolutely, it's a fantastic CD. I love it. And of course, you know, I love Bette Midler too.
We all
and speaking of love, there's a lot of love this morning because we're going to hear from George Clooney.
And speaking of love, can I say I love his new movie? I have to say, I saw it. It's called Good Night and Good Luck. It's all about McCarthyism in this country and Edward R. Murrow and his attempts to hold Senator Joe McCarthy to, I guess, accountability for what he was doing. It is not only a good story, and I think a lot of people should revisit the story, it's a beautifully made movie.
I was going to say beautifully crafted. I went to go see it and it was sold out, so I haven't seen it yet, but I'm really dying to.
You'll like it. What else do we have coming up?
I think that's it.
Yeah? Nothing else?
Oh, except we want to remind people that Halloween is just a week away. So this could be
She's looking at me like, yeah, what's that mean to me?
Anyway, that means it's time for all of us to make complete fools of ourselves, but luckily, it's more than just that. We want you all to come down
and make
to the
fools of
plaza.
yourselves as well.
Yes, exactly. In your Halloween, I was going to say Hollywood, Halloween finest. And we're going to have a contest. We're going to have prizes. It should be fun. And that, again, is next Monday, right here on Today. What's Jack going to be for Halloween?
He was going to be some kind of Captain Hook character, I think.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
Okay,
nice.
good.
Anyway, let's get a check of the weather now. Al Roker's been braving.
Don't you want to know what Carrie's
going to be? Carrie and Ellie, what are they going to be?
Well, Ellie's too old, but Carrie says, no, you know what? I don't think I should discuss this.
Made me
one
ask
of those
it.
off-color
Made me ask. Let's go back down to Naples, Florida. Al's been taking on the wrath of Hurricane Wilma all morning. He's got a check of the weather.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. And again, skies are brightening. Still pretty breezy, but a lot better than it's been. Take a look, show you what's going on the radar. Again, this thing is moving pretty quickly, 15 miles north-northeast of West Palm Beach, 105-mile-per-hour wind, still a Category 2, and it's moving northeast at 25, so it's really starting to take off. And as you take a look, you'll see that wet weather around the northeast is also starting to develop thanks to a big area of low pressure. Fog and clouds in the Pacific Northwest, down in Southern California, some fog as well. That'll burn off. Beautiful day today. Temperatures in the 60s. Nice and toasty in Phoenix today with a temperature of 91 degrees and 67 and fair skies in Seattle. Beautiful weather from the Great Lakes all the way down into Texas. That's what's going on around the country. Here's what's happening in your neck of the woods.
Good morning to you. I'm Ron Peterson filling in for Dave Selesky. And as we start the week with some clouds, we see some sprinkles. We'll see some sunshine, though, by later this afternoon and a high temperature well above average. 67 will be your forecast high today. Average temperature is about 60 degrees. It will be closer to seasonal averages by tomorrow, and mostly cloudy Tuesday through Sunday with varying chances of rain and showers. First best chance for rain in the Portland area is Tuesday night into early Wednesday.
This weather, Katie?
Al, glad to know, rather, you had the good sense to come in out of the rain. It's pretty rough out there now, isn't it? I guess you can't hear me. Okay, anyway, that's right. All righty then. Up next, George Clooney talks about his new film. And a little bit later on, Bette Midler, The Divine Miss Them, in concert out on the plaza with a very special guest. But first, this is Today on NBC.
The 2006 Subaru LL Bean Editions. With outstanding safety and fuel efficiency, you can enjoy more of the great outdoors. The Subaru LL Bean Editions. Get $1,000 customer cash or 1.9% financing on 2006 Subaru LL Bean Editions.
That was the scariest thing I've ever seen. But with Jenny Craig, we never have to be horrified at taking pictures again. And yet, we can still have yummy stuff like creamy macaroni and cheese and not be haunted with guilt.
Final week. Lose 20 pounds for $20 plus the cost of food. Or ask about our other affordable plans. Call 1-800-JENNY-20 now.
So have you called Jenny yet? Come on, scaredy cat, call her.
Never plunge again. American Standard's new Champion flushing system with revolutionary flush tower technology. Only from American Standard.
It may start with a look. It may start with a sound. It may start with the feel. It may start with the drive. Or it may just start with the price. The new 2006 C230 Sport Sedan, starting at $29,975. How will it start for you?
He has been a mainstay on Hollywood's A-list for nearly a decade. He's a director, the son of newsman Nick, the nephew of singer Rosemary, and yes, ladies, he's still single. In his latest film, Good Night and Good Luck, George Clooney plays legendary producer Fred Friendly, who took on red baiters during the McCarthy era.
We are going with a story that says that the U.S. Air Force tried Milo Radulovich without one shred of evidence and found him guilty of being a security risk without his constitutional
you, who
rights.
also have not seen the evidence, are claiming he's not a security risk. Wouldn't you guess that the people who have seen the contents of that envelope might have a better idea of what makes someone a danger to his country? Or do you think it should just be you that decide?
Who are the people?
George, good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
I like the fact we get to talk about a movie like this because it appears to me it's a labor of love.
Sure.
And so often actors come through here and they're talking about their big paycheck or their blockbuster. Tell me why you made this movie exactly.
Money. Because I thought there would be... There's big money in a
black and
white
film,
film about something that happened 50 years ago. My father's an anchorman. I grew up with the idea of how great the Fourth Estate is and how important it is, especially in broadcast journalism. And this was the high point, one of probably the high water marks. This and when Cronkite came back from Vietnam were two times that you could point directly to a policy change and sort of an attitude change in the country. And I thought it was a great time to talk about those things again. I don't think it's necessarily the same issues anymore, but I think it's always a good time to talk about responsibility.
When you screened this movie, I was reading that you were somewhat surprised by how few people, or what percentage of the people, knew the story of McCarthy, knew who he was, knew who Edward R. Murrow was.
Well, Murrow was, most people knew of McCarthyism. They asked us who the actor playing McCarthy was. And
which in the movie is
Joe McCarthy. I would say 50% of the people didn't know who Murrow was.
You talk about so many things in this movie that when you're a viewer of it and you're watching it, you have to say, okay, there's got to be a message for journalists today. It seems to me as if there's a bit of a shot across the bow here. Maybe a call to arms would be a better way to describe it, that you've been somewhat disappointed with what you see on television today, and you'd like us, those of us in the media, to maybe hold ourselves and our art to a better standard.
I don't think it's for me, since I'm not a journalist. I'm a son of a journalist, and I've grown up around it. I don't think it's for me to try and say, hey, straighten up. I think that everyone...
Live up to your potential? Would that maybe...
I would argue that over the past couple, 3 years, we do this, you know, every 30 or 40 years, we get a little scared, you know, we get a little beat up by somebody or something, and we start to worry if it's unpatriotic to ask tough questions. And I find that I don't know a journalist that doesn't want to ask the tough questions. It's usually the issues. My father's fights were never about with reporters to ask tough questions. You know, he asked tough questions of the Carter administration. He asked tough questions of the Ford administration. His job was to question power. That's what the Fourth Estate does.
Murrow says at the end of the movie, and I love the speech he gives at the salute dinner, but part of that speech is when talking about television, its potential and its power. This instrument can teach, it can
illuminate, and yes, it can even inspire. But it can do so only to the extent that humans are determined to use it towards those ends. Otherwise, it is merely wires and lights in a box.
Was that the real speech, by the way?
Every word of it, yeah. We were very careful with this because of the way that people can marginalize things. You know, if you get one thing wrong now, people throw the whole thing
movie's
out.
gone.
So we double-sourced every scene. Every single scene in the film happened, and that was important to us. We had the people who were still alive, Don Hewitt, Joe and Shirley Wershp, Milo Radulovich, the ones who were still around, on the set, and we'd say, tell us what we got wrong, tell us when we're doing it wrong, because it was important not to get it wrong.
So the message to journalists, maybe do a better job. The message to viewers in the general public, hold your journalists to higher standards?
Maybe, you know, I love when Murrow says the fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves. This is about saying all power must always be checked, all power, by anyone, whoever's in charge. And the best people to do that is the press.
The movie is obviously near and dear to you right now, but your health has been in the headlines as well. You had a real thumb, back, spinal cord, raging headache type situation. How are you doing
fine now?
Is it fine? Completely fine?
Oh yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty good. It's not so bad.
You can't hold your head this way, but other than that,
it's fine. Here, turn me, will you?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Turn me.
No, it was scary.
It was scarier when I didn't know what it was, and I thought I was having an aneurysm, which is a family, you know.
And technically,
issue.
what it is now is
it's a spinal leak.
I'm not going to let you go without congratulating you, because you were recently named to the very first list of uber-sexuals. I always thought you were straight, actually, which is, you know...
Uber, is that like a German sexual? Is that what it is?
That's an ultra-sexual. That is, it was you and Clinton and Bono.
Really?
Good company, congratulations.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Do you feel Uber?
Well, I'm excited about the after party.
It's going to be a blast. Good seeing you.
Thanks.
All right, the movie's great.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
And again, the movie is Good Night and Good Luck, and we're back in a moment. But first, good luck. This is Today on NBC.
Okay, now, science test tomorrow. If I don't get the periodic table, I'm toast. So what are elements? Okay. They're the stuff that all their stuff is made of. Because they're made of different atoms.
Introducing Discovery Learning Connection, the online homework help tool that brings home thousands of instantly locatable videos. Go to dlc.com for your free trial. Discovery Learning Connection. See it, learn it, know it.
There is a sense of urgency when a beeper goes off in the middle of the night, because people are counting on you, no matter what the forecast has in store. You ever wonder why, when your electricity goes out or your cable goes dead, your phone service still works? Well, here's your answer. Me. I'm the one that makes sure your calls get through. My name is Scott. I work for Quest, and that's our spirit of service in action.
A 210 horsepower PowerTech V6, 2 available four-wheel drive systems, 5,000-pound towing capacity, and one feature, that really attracts attention. The new 2005 Jeep Liberty. Now get a 2005 Liberty with a $3,000 cash allowance or 0% financing plus a $1,500 cash allowance.
Is stomach discomfort bothering you? Do you experience an early sense of fullness when you eat, bloating, or maybe nausea? These are symptoms of a medical condition called dyspepsia, which may occur during or after eating. Local physicians are studying an investigational medication for dyspepsia in women. It's already been approved for another condition. If you've experienced these symptoms for any 12 weeks over the past year, call us at 1-888-39-STUDY. That's 1-888-39-STUDY.
Celebrating 10 years of concerts, the Toyota Concert Series on today. Choose any direction as long as it's moving forward. Toyota, moving forward.
Well, Bette Midler is one of the most versatile performers in showbiz. Her repertoire ranges from standards to raunchy rock and roll, and she's earned everything from multi-platinum records to Academy Award. Oh, those sparrows, that was freaky. Academy Award nominations. Now she's about to release a new CD. It's called Bette Midler Sings the Peggy Lee Songbook. Bette, always great to have you. Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
So I'll bite. Why Peggy Lee?
Why Peggy Lee? Barry Manilow had another dream.
We have to keep him from eating pepperoni pizza at night, don't we? I mean, this was what happened with Rosemary
That's
Clooney,
exactly
right?
He called me up after I hadn't heard from him in years, and he said, guess what? I had this dream that we went into a studio and made a record that honored Rosemary Clooney, and it worked out great for us. And like a few months ago, he called me up and said, I had another dream. He really did. He said, I had another dream. So I said, what's it this time? And he said, Peggy Lee. And I didn't know a whole lot about her, but when I spent some time reading her book and listening to her music, I kind of fell in love with her. She was the coolest female singer ever.
And I think your voice is so well suited to sing her songs because it has that smoky, sexy.
Oh, that's the phlegm. It doesn't usually sound like that. And it is a little brisk here this morning.
I know, but we're really, really thrilled to have you. And you're going to sing a couple of songs.
Yes, I am.
First song is...
The first song is It's So Cold, Let's Sing Fever.
All right, so maybe we can get the crowd warmed up.
Sure, why not?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the divine Miss M.
Let me hear you say that. Shake your hand. Never know how much I love you. You'll never know how much I care. When you put your arms around me, I get a feeling that's so hard to bear. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight, fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Sun lights up the daytime, the moon lights up the night. I light up when you call my name, and you know I'm gonna treat you right. You give me fever when you kiss me, fever when you hold me tight, fever in the morning, fever all through the night. Everybody's got the fever, that is something you all know. Fever isn't such a new thing, fever started long ago. Romeo loves Juliet. Juliet, she felt the same. When he put his arms around her, he said, Julie, baby, you're my flame. I'll give it fever without kissing, fever without flaming you. Fever, I'm a fire, fever, I burn for Pocahontas, she said, Daddy-o, don't you dare, he gives me fever. With his kisses, fever when he holds me tight. Fever! Oh, I'm his missus. Hey, Daddy, won't you treat him right? Now you'll listen to my story. Here's the points that I've made. Chicks are born to give you fever. It's Fahrenheit or centigrade. They give you fever. With their kisses, fear if you live, you learn. Fever to the soul, but what a lovely way to burn. Hey, what a lovely way to burn. What a lovely way to burn. Oh my goodness. Warming up?
Another hot song from Bet in a moment. But first, this is Today on NBC.
With his kisses, feel when he holds me tight.
This is from me, Mom. Something you've always wanted. It's your report card.
This moment brought to you by Sylvan Learning Center. We begin by identifying your child's specific needs, followed by individual attention, personalized lesson plans, and progress reports for you.
12 area locations now serving you. Call 1-866-2-SYLVAN today.
Don't miss the RV sale you've been waiting for. The biggest sale of the year at Paulsbo RV's year-end clearance sale. Choose from the Northwest's largest selection of inventory, all priced with the best savings of the year. Diesels, Class A's, Class C's, fifth wheels, travel trailers. For example, you can own a Denali fifth wheel for only $253 a month. Don't wait. Visit Paulsbo RV this week and save at this year-end clearance sale.
When you want the best for your family and yourself, you give it all you've got. You go for the gold. Gold and soft margarine. It's the winner for old-fashioned value, cholesterol-free baking, and oh, great taste. Plus, nothing beats its rich, creamy spreadability. Gold and soft margarine. It's the little yellow tub with great big taste.
And it's time for another classic from the new Bette Midler CD. Bette Midler sings the Peggy Lee songbook. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's Bette Midler and friends singing Big Spender.
The minute you walked in the joint, I could see you were a man of distinction, a real big spender, good looking, so refined. Say, wouldn't you like to know what's going on in my mind? Let me get right to the point. I don't pop my cork for every guy I see.
I thought you did.
Hey, big spender. A little time with me. Over rehearse. Wouldn't you like to have fun? How about you laugh, 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 laugh? I can show you a good time. Let me show you a good time. How'd I do? You did great.
Oh, it was so great. Thanks, you guys, and thanks to the Heartland.
Staggering Highlands, that Swimming, her freezing and the Ice Block Orchestra.
Monday, it's wicked, wild, devilish good fun. Today's Halloween costume contest. Get your scary self down here. Join us live on the plaza. Next Monday on Today.
For a week we never knew till we watched the show. He could pop up any place around the globe. North, south, east or west. Get the map and make a guess. Where in the world is Matt Lauer? Where is he today? We want to know.
November 7th, sponsored by CVS Pharmacy.
Where in the world is Matt Lauer?
Turn today's kitchen into your kitchen. 120 recipes from the world's best chefs. In stores now and available online. The very first cookbook from today's kitchen.
Tonight, the wake for Hurricane Wilma. As another dangerous storm takes aim, is the U.S. prepared? NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams tonight.
Know what makes Chrysler 300 the most award-winning new car in history? Just pick up any one of these magazines and read about its precision handling, 5-star crash test rating, and fuel-efficient Hemi V8 engine. Or you could experience the thrill of driving Chrysler 300 for yourself and see what it takes to be the most award-winning new car ever. Right now, get a $500 cash allowance on the Chrysler 300. Hurry into your Chrysler dealer today.
98.7 KUPL. The biggest hits.
The biggest stars.
This is a News Channel 8 update.
Good morning, everyone. It's 8:56. The current temperature in downtown Portland, 47 degrees. I'm Brenda Braxton along with Debbie Duran. Here's what's happening this morning. We expect a man accused of nearly beating to death another man to appear in a Clackamas County courtroom today. Jay Hosley is accused of attacking a Portland man early Friday morning in Milwaukee. Deputies say Hosley and Matthew Mead got into a fight over a camera. Overnight, we learned doctors at OHSU upgraded Mead to serious condition. Oregon Lottery officials say a landscaper in Medford is still just someone waving around a piece of paper, but Steve West says he has the winning $340 million Powerball ticket. West hasn't taken that ticket to the Oregon Lottery office yet to have it verified. But he's already conducting several interviews saying he's the mystery guy who bought that winning ticket down in Jacksonville. West says he plans to claim the prize officially tomorrow. Now with a look at our weather forecast today, here's Ron Peterson. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, Brenda. Good morning, Debbie. Good morning, all. We're looking at a system offshore here. They'll start to drift in by Tuesday night for the Portland area, earlier on Tuesday for the coast. Right now, we're getting a brief bit of onshore push of marine air that gives us morning clouds to deal with. Some drizzle, but otherwise it'll be sunny later this afternoon. 54 currently in Hillsborough, 56 degrees in Troutdale, 55s in McMinnville and Aurora. Your forecast for today, like I say, clouds in the morning and then sunshine into the afternoon with a high of 67 degrees. Then increasing clouds for Tuesday. We get back towards seasonal average temperatures. Chance of rain Tuesday into Wednesday, maybe again Friday into Saturday. Otherwise, mostly cloudy through the week after today. Debbie, Brenda, back to you.
All right, Ron, thank you. We'll be back at 9:26 with another news update. Hope you can join us then. In the meantime, have a good morning.
On the next Live with Regis and Kelly, from Boston Legal, Emmy winner William Shatner is here. Plus R&B artist Frankie J performs. And it's Project Schulweis, the first date on the next Live.
Today at 11 on News Channel 8.
If you've been injured through the fault of somebody else, it's important that you learn your legal rights. Call the law firm of Zabendon & Curtis for your free consultation with an attorney that will guide you through the legal process. Call 503-287-5000.
Sundance Channel presents the exclusive premiere of Brian Williams' in-depth Hurricane Katrina documentary. In his own words, Brian Williams on Hurricane Katrina, only on Sundance Channel.
Sure, you'll see models wearing Gentle Dental smiles, but most of them are worn by families like mine, families on the run, not the runway. Gentle Dental offers choices that make scheduling easy. Call for the office nearest you and ask about the new patient special.
Rebath specializes in one-day stress-free bath remodeling. Call 1-800-BATHTUB today for your free in-home estimate. Rebath, the refreshing remodel.
A quick download on the new Hyundai Tucson. Loaded with features inside and out, like standard side impact and side curtain airbags, and standard electronic stability control with traction control. Tucson is the winner of Strategic Vision's 2005 Total Quality Award. And that award-winning quality lets us offer America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. The uniquely flexible feature-packed Hyundai Tucson. Nicely equipped at $16,594. At Hyundai. Get a Hyundai Tucson with up to $1,500 cash back at your Portland area Hyundai dealer.
I have a secret for making people smile. It's Gentle Dental. The Gentle Dental way brings the familiar care of your own dentist to a more convenient multi-specialty setting. Call 1-800-GENTLE-1 for the office nearest you and ask about the new patient special.
You know, Matt, our truck operator, Tom Bear, said, don't you wish you had your weight back? Right about now, I do.
Are you okay?
We're okay. We're okay. We're okay.
Okay.
We're okay. We're coming inside.
Yeah,
that's a good idea. That's a good idea. We're back with more of Today on this Monday morning. It's the 24th of October, 2005. That was Al Roker reporting live from the eye of the storm in Naples, Florida, just about 4 hours ago. The wind's so strong, even our own Al could not hold up to the wrath of Wilma, even with the help of Mike, his cameraman. But luckily,
okay.
as Lynn Berman would say,
nobody
got hurt. Meanwhile, inside Studio 1A, Matt Lauer, along with Katie Kirk and Alexis Glick.
And it's incredible. Hurricane Wilma is still pounding parts of the state of Florida this morning as it moves up the Atlantic coast. It's the 8th hurricane to hit or at least brush the Sunshine State in a little over 14 months.
It's not been a good season for the folks down there, and of course in the Gulf Coast either. NBC's Al Roker is down in Naples again this morning, and he's in a little better shape than the last time we saw him. Al?
That's right, guys. I'll tell you, if you don't appreciate the wrath of Mother Nature, stand outside in 110-mile-per-hour winds, and you will very quickly. Skies are brightening. I actually we're starting to see some blue sky out here, so that's good news. People will be starting to get out, looking around, seeing what's going on. Right now, Wilma, still a Category 2 storm, 105-mile-per-hour winds. It's moving to the northeast between 25 and 30 miles per hour, and it should exit the state within the next hour or two and then really take off up the East Coast. Back to you guys.
All right, Al, thank you very much.
We're going to come back to Al in just a few minutes for a check of the rest of the country's weather. But first, let's go down to Punta Gorda, Florida, where NBC's Tom Costello is standing by with the latest. Tom, good morning again.
Katie, good morning. We don't have any rain here, but boy, we have had no let-up in the winds whatsoever. I'm guesstimating we're right now at 60 miles per hour plus here. We don't have the 100-mile-per-hour winds that much of the rest of the state had further south. But they've had no let-up at all in the battering of the winds we've had here. We do, however, have some good sign. Raul, can you pan off into the sky? We've got blue skies also here on the Gulf Coast. So this storm moving very rapidly, in fact, off the Gulf.
And I knew he was going to be a firecracker, and I just knew I wasn't going to be able to run after him with 55, 56 extra pounds on me. My husband says I look incredible, so it must be true, because he wouldn't lie to me. Goodbye, size 18. Hello, size 6.
To be connected to the center nearest you, call 1-800-975-TRIM.
There's a better way to save on gas. Our fuel efficiency review, free, with a Jiffy Lube Signature Service oil change. There's a better way to save on gas. Our fuel efficiency review, free, with a Jiffy Lube Signature Service oil change.
Ask for Quaker State when you come in for your next Jiffy Lube Signature Service oil change.
It's the most wonderful time.
The 43rd Annual Portland Singing Christmas Tree opens the day after Thanksgiving for 10 performances only November 25th through December 3rd.
There's nothing like it.
It's incredible. It is undescribable.
It's the beginning of our holiday season.
Call 503-557-TREE today and start your family holiday traditions with Portland's Singing Christmas Tree, where Christmas comes to life. Proudly sponsored by News Channel 8, K103, and Reese's Fine Foods.
At TNC Chevrolet, it's the full-line closeout. Not one, but 50 Suburbans and Tahoes are $15,000 off MSRP, plus free lifetime tires. It's an American revolution. Only at Town & Country Chevrolet in Milwaukee. Drive home happy.